Hey guys, Average Scarecrow here with another Raid Shadow Legends video. Thank you very much for dropping by the channel. As always, I really appreciate it. Today, we're going to be doing a showcase on Edward Kenway. I had actually meant to do a showcase on this guy when I first pulled him, but to be honest with you, trying to upload, more than like once a week for me is pretty not easy to do between work and all the things I like to do outside of work. Finding time to record videos in between all of that is very hard. For example, like this Saturday, I'm off this Saturday, but I'm going to be spending all day out at we're doing a whole day of we're going skeet shooting, which is like, for those of you that don't know, it's where you have the clay projectiles that they shoot outward, across each direction, and you have your kind of shotgun, and you shoot those, and you try to get as many as you can. So the place we go to, you have per round, it's 25 attempts, and you try to score as many as you can. And then after that, we're going to an outdoor gun range, because I got myself a brand new Smith & Wesson Response, which is a PCC, a pistol caliber carbine. It's like a long barrel rifle that shoots 9mm ammunition. I've been wanting one for a while, mainly just to, have fun with, go to the range, have a little fun. And I'm really excited because this is going to be the first time that I'm shooting it. So that's my way of saying that it's hard to find time to record in between everything that I do, 50 to 60 hours, not 60, sorry, roughly 50 hours a week at work. And then, things like the gun range, spending time with my family. It's a little bit difficult. But anyway, that's my long story about why I didn't record a video of Edward when I initially pulled him. And we're going to do it now because I went ahead and I got the 5-star soul for him out of this event. I also pooled because I pooled shards for it. I didn't have that many, but it was enough between that, and then I purchased a couple of those packs, because I'm a dirty, filthy spender in this game. But I went ahead, I picked up, where is he? All the way down here. I picked up Longbeard. This guy has pretty bad reviews, except for Fire Knight, because he's got an ally attack. So attacks one enemy with 4 allies, and increases the damage inflicted by 20%. So I'm excited to build him. I think he does need a buff, to be honest with you. Maybe an AoE weaken on this, on a 2-turn cooldown. That would be kind of cool. But anyway, yeah, so I'm going to use him, I think, for Faction Wars as an ally attacker with my Marius. I think that'll be good. Anyway, back to Edward Kenway. This guy's a Force Affinity, legendary attack-based champion out of the Bannerlords faction. Edward Kenway is my 3rd favorite assassin. For me, it goes Ezio Auditore, Altair, the OG, and then Edward Kenway. However, it's very, very close between all three. I love all three of these games. Black Flag, my favorite pirate game I've ever played, but also I think it's up there with Assassin's Creed 2 as far as quality goes, as far as the story and the world and all that kind of stuff. So Edward Kenway, a really, really good champion. People really like this guy, and I'm not sure I'm quite as high on him as everyone else, but I do think that he's an excellent arena champion, and I do think you could use him as a nuker in PvE if you needed to. So this guy is, especially with the A1 here, so let's start there. We've got Privateer Blitz, attacks one enemy 3 times. Each hit has a 75 up to 100% chance of decreasing the target's turn meter by 15%. Sorry, or 25% if the attack is critical, which cannot be resisted if he's under a veil or perfect veil. Okay, so this is incredible for Fire Knight, but it's also extremely good for PvP. Being able to reduce somebody's turn meter by 75% on an A1 ability, we're going to build him with 100% crit rate. So we're going to be getting to 25% turn meter, is absolutely bonkers. That's really good. You can essentially just keep someone controlled for the entire fight if you so choose to do that. So a really, really powerful A1. On the A2 here, on a 3-turn cooldown when booked, we've got a 2-time hitter. The first hit steals all buffs from all enemies and decreases each enemy's turn meter by 20%, which can't be resisted if he's under veil or perfect veil. Okay, so already incredible. Buff steal on all enemies and turn meter drop. That means you can steal block debuffs, you can steal from the Feral, you can steal Stoneskin, you can steal, any buffs that have been placed already. So really, really powerful. And then the second hit has a 75 books up to 100% chance of placing a sleep on all enemies for 1 turn. So sleep's kind of a weak one, to be totally fair. However, it will ignore any block debuffs if the attack is critical. So you can go through even like 9-piece protection champions that have block debuffs. You can go through that. And it's also irresistible if he's under a veil or perfect veil. On the A3, we've got Between the Eyes. This is a 5, books to a 3-turn cooldown, attacks one enemy. Before attacking, places a perfect veil on himself as well as any other assassins on the team for 2 turns. It will ignore shield, Stoneskin, and block damage, and place a block revive if the target is killed. So we got a block revive, which ignores shield, Stoneskin, and block damage. Block damage is kind of, you're starting to see a lot of champions, like, you know, with this either built into the kit in like their passive, or it's an active ability, or so on and so forth. Odin, for example, has it on a passive. Nice has it on an active ability. There's relics now that can give block damage if enemies or if allies are killed. I have my Empress in one, so the wearer blocks when the wearer's allies are all dead, places a block damage for 1 turn, or has a 25% chance when a single ally dies. So you've got mythical relics now that are doing this. Yeah, so a lot going on, and so block damage is definitely a big one here. The only one he doesn't have is unkillable. More champions coming in with unkillables. Sir Nick is back in the meta. Theodosia has unkillable. Yeah, a lot of different ones. So but the block revive is very, very good. On the passive, everything is permitted. This is the Assassin's Creed collaboration passive. Whenever an enemy's HP drops below 25%, after receiving damage from any assassin, they receive additional bonus damage proportional to this champion's attack. It will ignore 100% defense and cannot be critical. He's got his own passive, though, Keel Haul. Each hit inflicted by this champion has a 50% chance of placing a 100% ensnare debuff for 2 turns. Whenever this champion kills an enemy, places an ensnare debuff on all enemies for 2 turns and decreases their turn meter by 20%, which can't be resisted if he's under veil or perfect veil. This champion inflicts 20% more damage against enemies under ensnare debuff. So this is a guy who he's really good because he can end fights really quick because he can block revive nukers, right? So you can essentially end the fight before it really gets started. But he's also better over longer fights as well, because if you get around to placing all of these ensnares, maybe you don't kill everyone, but you ensnare them. Now he's going to deal bonus damage. He's going to be placing perfect veil on himself, so his debuffs are going to be irresistible. So he's really good, in my opinion, because he can end fights really quick, but he's also still good if you don't end the fight quickly and the fight goes on for an extended period of time. So really, really good. I've got him in a 5-star Soul Reap. This is going to give us a Reaper at 14% HP threshold, and if the Reaper doesn't kill them, has a 50% chance of placing a True Fear for 1 turn. So I like that. I've got him in Last Laugh to maybe keep him alive a little bit longer. However, I think that you could certainly go the option of just more ignore defense. You could go with something like Gore Crescent. Actually might be a really good one for him, because you block revive on somebody, and then your next attack, maybe even like reset the block revive, and you go in and you hit even harder on that block revive. You could also go, if you just have if you only have rares to go with right now, Malefic Talon for just a base stat of crit damage. Malefic Talon alone with the crit damage as the main stat is really, really good. So plenty of options. We're going to keep him a Last Laugh for this one, though. All right, moving on to the what am I thinking here? Masteries, sorry. We're going down the offensive tree. We're picking up Deadly Precision, Keen Strike, Heart of Glory. However, ooh, this is... Do I want... I think I want Ruthless Ambush instead. So why don't we build this together? Because I think I do want Ruthless Ambush. So we're going to go Deadly Precision here. We're going to go Keen Strike. We're going to go... I kind of want bonus speed as well. I also want the bonus HP when attacking with full HP. So let's go Heart of Glory. Ooh, this is tough. This is tough. Okay, so we want Whirlwind of Death because I do want bonus speed. I want the first hit on each enemy to do 8% more damage. I want a chance to decrease the cooldown of a random skill by 1 turn. Yes, I am expecting his A3 to do a lot of damage, so we'll go with Cycle of Violence. I also play with a lot of crowd control in arena CCs, so we'll go ahead and pick up Opportunist as well. We can pick up Kill Streak because we want the bonus damage, and then I'm going to use his A1 a lot, I imagine. So we'll go there, and then we'll pick up Helm Smasher. So a little bit different than I normally go. I want to go all in on Arena on this guy. So we got Methodical for bonus damage on the A1, Kill Streak for bonus damage when we kill enemies, Helm Smasher to ignore defense, a chance to ignore bonus defense, bonus damage when they're under a crowd control debuff. The first hit on each enemy does 8% more damage. I really want to focus in on that A3, and I want to try to kill someone straight away. Let's go ahead and pick up Defiant. We're going to pick up Defiant because we want the resist, but more importantly, it takes us over to improved parry. Decreases the damage received by this champion by 8% when this champion is hit with a critical hit. Let's go ahead and pick up a 30% chance of placing a block debuffs, but is there anything else I want on here? Actually, for PvE, Harvest Despair might not be a bad one. With the sleep, you can get a leech as well for some healing. So why don't we do this? Why don't we go Bloodthirst for some heals, Harvest Despair, and then we can also go Retribution. I do like Retribution, and Retribution leads in really well with the A1. So you can counterattack with the A1 and drop somebody's turn meter basically all the way back down to 0, which is pretty good. Okay, so I like that. I like that on the mastery. So just one quick look over, just real quick, and then we're good to go. We already went over the relic. It gives us attack, HP, and a 30, 40, 50, 60% chance to activate a delay effect when receiving fatal damage on a 3-turn cooldown. Let's go in real quick because I'm rambling. Let's try to wrap this up so we can get into the arena, and let's look at Ensnare. Let's look at Ensnare so that everyone is aware of what that is doing when we place that debuff. Oh, too many debuffs in the game. Here it is, all the way at the bottom. So 100% Ensnare. Any turn meter increase effects received by a champion with Ensnare will be reduced by 100%. So anytime someone attempts to fill someone's turn meter when they have Ensnare, they won't get any turn meter, basically. It's really, really good. So let's go in here, and we'll just go, I think I do have some battles, so that's good. We're going to go here, and we'll just go, let me make sure that Carolon is built. He is. Let's go here. Oh, I didn't go over the build. Duh. God, I was trying to rush through it. Okay, so I actually have him in a different kind of build for this video. So we're going to go lethal, but then one set of total guard. So 4-piece Mercurial, 4-piece lethal, 1-piece pinpoint. Okay, so we're getting on the Mercurial, we're getting some speed, and we're getting total guard, which blocks all incoming damage and any associated effects. So I'm curious to try this out. I usually run Stoneskin, but I'm trying out for this video 4-piece of Mercurial because I have a couple really good ones. So we've got crit damage with attack on the gauntlets with a quad speed and more attack percentage. So actually quad speed, why don't I just go ahead? Do I want to use that? No, I don't. I want to save that for a support champion. So what I want to do instead is I'll use this, and we get 7 speed there. And then why don't we just try one of these, and then we'll try this. Look at that, 4%. So really, really good. So we've got 36 speed on these gauntlets. Very, very good. Crit rate and attack percentage. We've got attack percentage with quad crit rate. And then why don't we just try this because it's a really good one. We'll try one more. Nice, an extra 4 speed. So we got attack percentage with quad crit rate with speed and accuracy. We've got speed with attack percentage with more attack percentage, crit rate, and crit damage. Crit damage with crit damage here. Defense, which isn't great, but we've got double speed, a little bit of attack percentage, and then we've got HP. Not a very good ring, but you sacrifice some stats sometimes to get what you want as far as gear sets go. So that's essentially what we're looking for. Speed, crit rate, crit damage, and attack percentage. On the total stats, we've got 47.8 on the HP, 55.10 on the attack, pretty low on the attack. Like I said, I sacrificed some stats to get the Mercurial. 28 on the defense, 267 on the speed, though, so he's pretty fast. 99% on the crit rate. That's going to come back to bite us. I just know it. And then 307 on the crit damage. So let's go ahead now and we'll go in, since I already wasted one fight. And we are fast enough, so we'll place drop defense. Remember, we're getting the bonus damage, 12% bonus damage because they're under a crowd control debuff. Let's slow this down, and then Nice is the big threat here. So let's go ahead and see if we can take him out. Boom, 129,000, but unfortunately he lives through it because of that passive. So now we'll go in here. They've got him in a delay as well. So now we're in a little bit of trouble. Okay, that's better. Now let's try... Oh, you know what? It was Donnie's passive. I apologize. So let's try this now. We'll try it one more time. Boom, 129. Now everyone's under an Ensnare. And you saw that Arbiter was not able to fill anyone's turn meter because of the Ensnare debuff. It's very, very good. Very good. So we neutralized the biggest threat to the team. Sorry, I'm stuttering over my words. And we neutralized all of their turn meter fill. Donnie also has turn meter fill, so that's something to keep in mind as well. You totally neutralize that. I guess he could cleanse it, to be fair. All right, let's try the A2 here. This is going to give us sleep. It's also going to steal all buffs. They don't have any buffs, though. So we get 45, about 45,000 on each hit. Not a super hard hitting A2. But with the sleep and the turn meter buff steal and the turn meter manipulation, it's very, very good. So we can go in here actually, and I actually don't. I'll probably lose because of this, but I actually want to see if we can steal. I actually want to see if we can steal these buffs. So let's go in here. Yeah, look at that. He stole it, and he placed sleep. And he placed the sleep. Let's go. So we're going to wake him up, unfortunately, because of the AoE. But remember, he's got total guard as well. So all of those buffs were protected. Now we can go in here. And remember, even if they had the block damage up, we would be able to ignore it. So let's go here. You're kind of a threat. So let's see about maybe taking you out. Nope, pretty strong. Okay, there's the block damage, but now we can go in and let's do this. Look at that, Ensnare. So no more turn meter fill unless they cleanse. And unfortunately, I think this guy's gonna just kind of slowly do us away. Boom, look at that. Killed him. They're going to get the revive. That's fine. Okay. Oof, block damage. Here we go. Man, we're having a hard time killing that guy. Maybe I should try taking out everyone else instead. Let's try that. So let's try to get a little control back. And yeah, we're in trouble now. So actually, he's pretty weak, and he's got drop defense. Let's try it again. Okay, cool. We get the block revive. So now he's out of the game. Odin is still a problem, but now we don't have to worry about those HP burns. Let's go here. Boom. Ah, we got sheeped. We got sheeped. He can still revive. Whew. Thank you, Donnie. Donnie just saved us. This is a tough little team he's put together. And the sheep certainly didn't help, so... Ah! Okay, that's it. We have to back out. Is there a passive? Does he have a passive that mitigates damage? I think it's... Man, this guy is tough. That is a tough champion. Okay, that's fine. It was a good fight. It was a good fight. It was a good fight. We can go here. Perfect. We won the speed battle. Again, I think probably the biggest threat here actually is going to be Armands. So let me see if we can take out the Armands. Smack, block, revive. Everyone's under Ensnare. No turn meter fill because of the Ensnare. Now we can do this. We can do that again. We can go in and block, revive you. Boom. That's going to trigger his metamorph. And that's all she wrote. So, Edward, man, he's very good. Very good. He's doing a whole lot of stuff all at once. Another, what's this guy's name? Volcanos. So, Volcanos. Probably my most wanted. I don't have any faction unity champions. I think it goes Volcanos for me. And then Argaz, the orc one. I really want the orc faction unity champion. All right, so 4 Stoneskins here. I do want to try to strip some of them. Predator. Let's try to steal another one. No. Okay. So we're in trouble here. Okay, good. He targeted the Odin. Perfect. Let's go. I want to save that because they're going to place block damage. Or block damage. Dude, look at that. I did nothing. That is so crazy how tanky he is. So there's the block damage. We have our own block damage, but now we're provoked. Oh, man. This guy is crazy powerful. And then we resisted. Yeah, Volcanos is crazy, man. Volcanos is nuts. I can't beat him. Good for him. Really powerful defensive champion. All right, here we go. We can start stripping everybody. Let's get that, because I feel like I always get wanded. Empress, definitely a problem here. Not anymore. 116,000, and we get the Ensnare. So she can't revive, and she can't get the turn meter fill on her A3 instead. So she can revive here, but no turn meter fill for any of these guys, which is really good. Let's try to block revive you. Boom. Because Lazarius also revives on his passive. So now they can't revive either of their nukers. And that's going to be, I think, all she wrote. Let's do this. Yep. Boom, boom. He's very good. Very good in arena. Here we go. Hecaton. This guy's nuts. And Pelops. And arguably the best arena champion in the game right now with Solinar. So they've got Total Guard. They're doing a whole lot. Okay. Can we... Because he's got reflect damage, so we're probably going to die here, but maybe we can block revive him? Yep, block revive. Now, the problem is I don't know... Okay, so we can taunt. There's the block damage. But now we have a chance to steal... Now we have a chance to steal the block damage, which is pretty cool. I forgot about the enfeeble that he has as well. Boom. Oh, we got petrified. Yeah, because of Pelops. Dang. We would have stolen all those buffs. It's fine, though. As long as he doesn't have them, we're okay. She's going to get the revive off on Pelops. Oh, no, she's not. Yeah, she is. She's going to get the revive off on Pelops. That's fine. We still have Hecaton under control. Oh, he's stunned. It's a 2-turn stun, too, which is... Pelops is good, man. I think people are... I don't think people are as high on him as I am, but I really like Pelops. Edward was taken out of the game, unfortunately, for 2 turns, but now we can go in and finish it off. Boom. He's very good. Very good. I'm really liking this champion, man. Really liking this champion. Again, it's like just pick and choose. Who do you want? Who's the biggest threat here? Well, she's the only nuker, right? So we go in there, block, revive the nuker, and that's it. We can throw it on auto now. Arbiter can't turn meter fill. Look at that. So no turn meter fill. Lysandra, no turn meter fill. There's another block revive. Extremely effective. I think this guy is A+ tier in Arena, man. I haven't used him in Classic Arena yet, but I'm pretty excited to. All right, here we go. So we've still got the Stoneskin there. So let's try to... Maybe we can kill the Necret through the Stoneskin. Why is he struggling so much there? Because he didn't have the strengthen. Is it just maybe lack of power? Like that's just going to be the stats? Maybe. Okay, now the interesting part here is that they have 2 block debuffs up, but I think we should still be able to place sleep, right? Yeah, look at that. So through the block debuffs, we're placing sleep. Absolutely incredible. Unfortunately, she has the highest attack, so she cleansed herself, which is also kind of a bummer. So a kind of counter to our counter to block debuffs. Maybe we can block revive you. Nope, because of the ally protect. Why are we having so much trouble against these tankier champions? It feels like we're hitting really hard, and then you get up against these guys, and it seems like they're not hitting nearly as hard. See that? 10,000 on each hit? That just doesn't... Oh, Harima. Duh. Harima. She's also blocking our ignore defense, or she's cutting it in half. That also has something to do with it. But that doesn't really explain Hecaton, though. Not Hecaton, sorry. What's that guy's name? The demons. Volcanus, sorry. Can't think of anything. All right, here we go. Marichka team. Hopefully we don't get... Oh, wow. Super high resist on that. Are we going to get cut? Okay, we aren't cut. Maybe... So he's frozen. So let's try to maybe... I'm going to try this again. Another tanky champion. Let's see if we can get through the Stoneskin. No. So interesting. So he kind of struggles against really tanky champions. But we also don't have increased attack. To be fair, we don't have increased attack. So that's something to keep in mind. And I think, unfortunately, we're probably going to lose this fight now. Because we got locked out. Yeah, we burned Donnie's passive, unfortunately. Ooh. Now that's a hit. Yeah. So he seems to really excel at killing squishier champions, and then struggles a little bit on the tankier champions. So let's go here. Let's try this again. That's a really high resistance So let's try this. Let's go... No. Yes. No, I should have gone A3 to maybe block revive on the Crixia. I think she weak hit there though, so that's good RNG for us. Yeah, because we can reset here a little bit. We can reset a little bit. I should have gone A3 first to get the irresistible. Now he's got... Man, we're just getting wanded into oblivion. Okay. So he's struggling a little bit. So maybe even in arena, it might be worthwhile to bring an increase attack champion. Because he is struggling a little bit here. To be fair, this is a really good team. So I actually want to try to keep you stunned. Oh, no, he got resisted because he's not under perfect veil. Okay. Yeah, it's just unfortunate, man. And she hit the... Dude, my Donnie, by the way, has like 1,000 resistance. And she's still locking him out. That's insane. All right, we're definitely not beating this team. That Crixia must have, I mean, easily I guess, minimum 750 accuracy, which I guess, to be fair, isn't that crazy because of their ignore resistance stuff. So that's not that crazy, but still, it seems like a lot. 5-star Awaken too, so that's probably going to do it. All right, well, I think, why don't we wrap it there for Arena, and give me 1 second, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch the build around, and we're going to take them into PvE, and we're going to do a little testing here. But now I'm seeing this team, and why don't we just end it on a really challenging fight. You got a lot of +2s, a lot of +3s, a lot of empowered people here. So I want to go in. Can we block revive the Foley? Yes, we can. So one of their nukers is out. I think the dwarf can still hit pretty hard, though. What about you? Yeah, block revive. Block revive. Now no ensnare, no turn meter fill for you. Boom, boom, boom. Irresistible turn meter depletion. No turn meter for you. No turn meter for you. And bang. Nice. Okay, cool. All right, give me 1 second, guys. We'll end it on a high note there so we don't end it on a loss. But oh, and now I see another team. Look, Naime. We'll try another one. Naime has block damage at the start of every round, right? So really good because you can go in and bang, not kill the Marius. Why is he struggling so much? Oh man, this guy is I think I need to maybe run him on a team that has increased attack. So maybe instead of Carolon, we go Arbiter. And you go Arbiter into Odin, into Donnie, into Edward. And then you have increased attack. Or you could go Mikage and go ally attack. That would be really good. Because you get increased attack and you can target someone who has high turn meter. and you can deplete their turn meter. So there's a lot of different ways, a lot of different strategies you can use this guy, but I think I'll play test that at a later time because we're already pretty decently into the video. So give me 1 second, guys. I'm going to go change his build out. We'll go a little more PvE focused with higher attack, maybe a little bit slower, and then we'll go from there, okay? I will be right back. Alrighty, guys, we're back. I went ahead and switched him over to a 2-piece Slayer, 6-piece Merciless set. So this is going to give us 35% ignore defense, a lot of crit damage, a lot of attack, and a 30% chance to decrease a random skill's cooldown by 1 turn when dealing damage. So no accuracy still, but we've got 45 on the HP, 7892 on the attack, almost 8,000 attack, 2858 on the defense, 220 on the speed, so much slower, 304 on the crit damage, and only 180 on the accuracy. We're going to take him into Dragonheart 10, pair him up with, we've got Arbiter here for the increased attack, which we do need. And then we've got Fervor with Glorious Palace. Here we go. Drop defense and weaken. And let's go ahead and we'll slow it down. Let's see what the A3 can do here. Yeah, 273. I wasn't expecting it to do much damage. Block Revive abilities don't typically do a ton of damage. So let's go ahead and try out the A2 this time. And slow it down. Yeah, 133, 100,000, about 200 to 250,000. Yeah, this is why I said, you know, a lot of people have him ranked super high in all areas of the game. And in Arena, I definitely agree. I think he's 5-star in Arena for sure. But in PvE, I think he's a little more niche. I think you probably are going to use him mainly for Fire Knight normal, maybe Fire Knight hard, but Fire Knight normal is really his specialty as far as dungeons go. I'll just throw this on auto. We can let it play through while I talk. I think you could probably use him. In fact, you probably want to use him in Dark Fae. I think Dark Fae, very good. Although, look at that one. 400,000 on that one. So he's going to ramp up the damage a little bit. And, yeah, 142. So, okay, the damage is going up a little bit, which is good. It's still not like the craziest I've ever seen, but that is better. But anyway, I think Dark Fae, Fire Knight normal, maybe Fire Knight hard because he's got a 3-time hitter on the A1. Okay, all right, now the damage is starting to ramp up. 284 on that one. That's probably going to be with the Helm Smasher, I would imagine. And then the bonus kills are going to be helping us as well. But aside from that, I think, you know, yeah, almost 500,000 there. So now it is ramping up. So maybe I was wrong. Hang on. Let me finish the fight before I say that he's not going to be super good in PvE. Yeah, okay. About 170,000 on that one. Okay. All right. 500,000. I'll take that. That's pretty good. That's pretty good damage. And then about 300k on the A2. What about the A1? What does the A1 do? I haven't really seen the A1 because we're running them with Donnie. Yeah, 550. So it's going up and up and up. I'm going to take it off auto real quick because I do want to see what the A1 does. Okay. All right, about 300k on the A1. Okay, I take it back. I think now I can say that I think I was wrong. I think the damage is actually scaling quite nicely. So you got about 200k on that one, give or take. About 400k on that one. So yeah, bring an increased attack champion with him. Bring a drop defense weakened champion. And then the fervor is also nice. Look at that, 523. So, okay, well, I think I was mistaken to a certain extent. He's definitely not... he's definitely dealing more than I thought he would. It's still not the craziest damage I've seen. In fact, I think I think Ezio and Basim both have a higher cap as far as damage output can go. Ezio, I got him to hit really hard, man. Really hard. He's a really good champion. And then Cassandra as well, obviously. Her A2 can hit ridiculously hard. So as far as damage goes, not quite as powerful, I think, as the other assassins, but still competent damage. I mean, 500,000 damage is good damage. So I was unfamiliar with Edward's game. Never underestimate a pirate. And then the chance to steal the increased attack as well. Also very good. Underrated against bosses. Being able to steal buffs from bosses is very good. Look at that, 539, and then the Reaper comes in and does another 762,000 damage. So, okay, well, I think I can stand a little bit corrected about Edward and his damage output. So very, very good, actually. I'm happy to be a little bit mistaken about that. Let's go ahead and head into... I want to test him out real quick. I don't think we'll do a full run because I don't think everyone is built, but I do want to see if he can dish out maybe a little bit of damage in Faction Wars. So if I were to take you out... Yeah, look at that, 153,000. So not too shabby. And that was without increased attack. We can actually let them buff up and then steal some of those buffs. Doesn't matter, though. He kills everybody. So, okay. All right. Okay, Edward. I'm happy to say that I was a little bit mistaken. Look at that turn meter. Let's go ahead and block revive on you. Boom. Ensnare on everybody else. No turn meter for anybody. They can't cleanse it, to be fair. Nice. I think we're probably still going to lose here. Like I said, I don't think anyone is fully built except for Edward, but so he can dish out damage as a PvE nuker as well. Actually, that makes me happy. Boom, look at that. Wave clears. He also brings, like we've been seeing this entire video, he brings so much more than just damage, though. Boom. Ensnare on everybody. No turn meter fill for any of them unless they cleanse it, right? Yeah, this is really good. Okay. Again, I think probably as far as damage goes, oh yeah, look at that. That was a big hit. Boom. Finishes the job. Yeah, good. Solid damage, actually. Solid damage. 1.5 million out of Edward. Okay, so I came into this having playtested him a little bit, and the damage didn't seem crazy to me. But after letting him go the whole period of time, it actually starts to scale up quite nicely. So that's good. That's really good. I'm happy about that. Because that was one thing that when I was playtesting him, when I first got him, I was like, well, he does okay damage in arena, but in PvE, he doesn't seem to be doing that much damage. But the 5-star blessing is obviously going to help because of the bonus attack and bonus crit damage. But also, I think switching those masteries around a little bit definitely helped in arena. Maybe not so much for PvP. Kill Streak, definitely a must-have on this guy. Helm Smasher, I think, is a must-have on this guy. So, yeah, Edward Kenway. I think I agree with the hype. I think, is there anywhere else I want to show him off at? I don't think so for the sake of the length of the video. You could... I just don't think he'd do... I don't think he would do that much damage. Let's go ahead and just bring him in. I think we can get there pretty quick. So let's just try. Let's try here. to see how much damage Edward Kenway can do against this boss. I think my Marius is not built. I think my Wrath is also not built, so... Sorry, just bear with me here for a second. No, he is built. I wonder... Didn't seem to hit that hard, though. Okay, let's go here then, and let's bring you in for a cleanse. Sorry about this. I'm going to be lazy. I'm not going to cut this out. I apologize. Come on. Oh, man. This is... I lied. I am going to cut that part out. Maybe. I don't know. All right. Here we go. Let's go here. Let's go here. No increased attack, though. We do have the Fervor. 211 actually isn't bad, especially without increased attack. It's obviously not going to be an enemy max HP hit. But I'm so used to like not bringing increased attack anymore, to be honest with you. All right. I think we can block revive on the spiderlings, right? So we can actually go in and do that. Block revive. 281. Yeah, so pretty decent damage actually. So yeah. Again, I may have misspoken. I was saying before we came in here, I don't know if he's going to do that much damage, but 281. 281 is solid damage. 170. Holy moly, Marius. 1.6 million. Good lord, brother. Here we go. I guess it doesn't... you know what? I'm not going to use Marius. What I'm going to do instead is I'm going to try to chip away. Yeah, it's just like, you know, without... It's just like if you have Lydia, it's so much faster to just go in and enemy max HP nuke him. Yeah, not a ton of damage against this boss, unfortunately. I think Doom Tower bosses, you're better off just going with like an enemy max HP. But still, I think maybe even in the earlier, stages, maybe normal, you know, I don't know if I haven't even started normal. Yeah, this guy, you know, Fire Knight hard or Fire Knight normal. Let's just do this. Yeah, let's go in here. Let's just throw him in there, see how he does. And honestly, with Edward, you probably want to throw it on A1 only when he gets to the boss, because you're basically going to keep the boss from getting a turn ever. And then think of like running him with a lore. Literally, the boss would never be able to take a turn because you'd be getting, between the two of them, 150% turn meter reduction. He's got that allure A1. Makes him arguably the best Fire Knight champion, Fire Knight normal champion in the game as far as like just multi-hitters go. Weak affinity, though. Didn't think of that. Yeah, see, that's why you want to go a. That's probably why you want to go A1. But the ally attack goes in. Unfortunately, we weak hit. So that's the only thing is affinity, right? Affinity is going to be the big thing. But if you do stage, I think up to 24. I think 25 is green. Yeah, because see, we're just weak hitting too much, which is the problem. But aside from affinity, I think this guy is really, 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 really good. Let's go stage 24 instead. Okay. I wanted to save the abilities when we get back here so I can give him a fair shake. So we're going to go ally attack, which is going to give us the multi-hits. We can go fervor here. Want to save that. Save that. And then we just want to A1 with Edward. Because he's essentially, if you play it right, he's never going to get a turn again. Might take a little bit of like speed tuning or something, but yeah, the idea is that you just won't let him take a turn again. Look at that. All the way back down. And then if we buy enough time, we can get back around to the ally attack, maybe. Boom. Again. Turn meter drop. I think that against bosses... Yeah, so 50%. So it's more like 12.5, so 37.5% turn meter drop. But same thing here, right? He just doesn't get to take a turn again because of how powerful the turn meter manipulation is. Boom, boom, boom. And he hits really hard, too, against normal bosses. So yeah, Edward Kenway, man. I think he's the top tier arena legendary champion. I think he can also provide a little bit of usefulness outside of arena as well. Very hard hitting A3 under the right circumstances. Without increased attack, though, he lacked a little bit against tankier champions. So that's something to keep in mind if you have this guy. Because we had him... also, to be fair, we had him a little bit weaker with the other set I had him in. So if you're going to build him in a weaker set to compensate for survivability, I would definitely recommend bringing an increased attack champion as well to help with that. Aside from that, though, I think he's an excellent champion. I was trying something new out with the 4-piece Mercurial. Don't quite know if I enjoyed it or not enjoyed it. Don't know if I like it as a final build. I might just switch it back to Stoneskin. I don't know. But he is really good nonetheless. So I'm going to go ahead and leave it there, guys. Thank you so much for dropping by the channel. As always, I really do appreciate it. And I will see you on the next one. Bye, guys.